With the secondary market getting so massive, of course the Crown had to get in the game, and they've done so with Rolex Certified Pre-Owned. Now these are watches that are 100% backed by Rolex with a guarantee that it is all authentic. Now, here alone, we're in Dubai, in the Wafi Mall, in the Seddiqi operated Rolex boutique. There's 500 pieces in this pre-owned inventory, 100 alone here in this store. And what we found coming in here, we knew there was going to be crazy cool watches. It's Dubai, it's the Seddiqi operated Rolex boutique, of course. But they have a real passion for day dates. And here today, we're going to look at some of the most rare and elusive day dates that you could possibly find.
Now, a Malachite dial day date is certainly not unheard of. It's a classic long-standing grail for many collectors. However, what makes this particular Rolex Day-Date 36 Malachite dial reference 18238 from 1991 insane is just how perfect its Malachite dial is. With stones like Malachite naturally occurring, each is effectively a piece unique. Looking at the naturally occurring pattern of this particular Malachite stone dial, it has perfect downward smiley swirls, almost like a rippling wave that move upward to the day aperture in near perfect symmetry, mimicking the shape and framing of the aperture very, very well. It's a testament to the keen eye of Ahmed Seddiqi and Sons and their mastery for curating the best examples of a particular model. In a similar vein, this next watch is not overtly flashy, no diamonds or rubies. It has an equally eye-catching dial to the Malachite, but it is very if you know nonetheless. Amongst Rolex stone dials, the king, the rarest, the most elusive, particularly in good condition, are coral dial day-date watches. This coral dial Rolex Day-Date 36 reference 18038 is in immaculate condition, and that's the insane part. Coral dial day-dates are very rare and scarce for two primary reasons. The first is that coral is a very fragile material to work with, and the second is that coral harvesting is widely illegal. In fact, it's even illegal to possess coral in the state of Florida, so probably don't want to buy this watch if you live there. This is all to say that Rolex, though they were produced over a few decades, did not manufacture that many examples of watches with coral stone dials, and due to the fragility of the material, even fewer have survived today in collector-grade condition. And that is what makes this pristine example so insane and so attractive. The dial is so clean, no cracks, impurities, or imperfections. I would understand concerns around its authenticity. The rarity and expense in acquiring a coral dial day-date watch has led to aftermarket forgeries tainting the market, but this is the beauty of a Rolex Certified Pre-Owned watch. This watch is entirely backed by an official Rolex guarantee. This is a very expensive watch to buy, so if you need to convince your partner, there just so happens to be a great example of a coral dial lady Datejust in their Rolex CPO inventory that, if purchased with the Day-Date 36, would make an incredible so-called his and her set. Okay, let's get a bit more overtly insane, shall we? Though their catalog of Rolex CPO watches is filled with vintage and neo-vintage inventory, there are pieces that are modern as well. This Day-Date 40 from 2018 is an example of a modern, secret, or off-catalog Rolex model. This Day-Date understandably often sells for over $300,000 US, with a dial that is fully diamond set, with applied ruby set Roman numeral hour indices, and a bezel set fully with baguette cut rubies as well. As an off-catalog model, this is a Rolex watch that is not publicly offered for sale to anyone, reserved exclusively for the Crown's top VIP customers. It's a watch you typically see only on the rich and famous, like Ellen DeGeneres and Steve Harvey, who are both known for having expansive watch collections. If you're familiar with Rolex, you probably have heard terms like yellow or white Rolesor, which refers to steel being paired with yellow or white gold. But once upon a time, first introduced in the 80s, Rolex also had something it called Tridor. Previously not something that was thought of as possible, Rolex proved it could make a center link that blended three different colors of gold: white, rose, and yellow in one link. On its own, Tridor is definitely an interesting look, with the center link of the bracelet having two outer stripes of rose gold, two stripes of yellow gold a step in, and a single center channel of white gold. It's emblematic of Rolex's ability to be playful and experimental, along with showcasing its manufacturing prowess, debuting tritone watches in an era where two-tone was arguably at its peak. As if the Tridor element was not enough of a curiosity draw on its own, this particular Day-Date 36 reference 18129 BIC has a diamond set bezel and dial with a full diamond set outer ring and a center medallion with a more spaced out array of set diamonds, and even rubies set into the dial at 9 o'clock and 6 o'clock. The dial base is even made of solid discs of gold. But what makes this watch, surely not to everyone's taste, very interesting, is something I've never seen on a Rolex before. And keep in mind, this is Rolex CPO inventory backed by Rolex, so there's no funny business here. I've never seen a Rolex plaque, for lack of a better phrase, within the 6 o'clock portion of the bezel. It's kind of neat, no? Speaking of things that I have yet to hear of, have you ever heard of Rolex Pleiade dials? If you haven't, don't feel bad. I had never seen it or heard of one until I set foot in this boutique. The name refers to the starry-like setting and placement of the diamonds on the dial, inspired by the Pleiades, who in Greek mythology were the 7 daughters of the Titan Atlas, who turned his daughters into stars to protect them from the hunter Orion. These dials were not offered publicly for sale, made available strictly to friends of Rolex off catalog for an added fee, said to be around 7,000 Swiss francs in the early 80s when the dial was first quietly offered as an option. As a result, configurations like this reference 18349 from 1991 are quite rare to find, and it's perhaps even rarer when you factor in the Arabic language day and date discs. This Day-Date 36 has a white gold case and bracelet, with the bezel and the center links of the President bracelet set with diamonds. Being in Dubai, this of course was not the only Day-Date in their inventory to have Arabic language day and date discs. This Rolex Day-Date 36 Rubellite diamond set dial, reference 18039 from 1986, caught my eye. The red grape-like color and the natural texture of the Rubellite gemstone really pops against the white gold case and bracelet. Serving as the hour indices, you also have diamonds set into the dial as well. It's a cool looking watch. Clearly, I have a thing for reddish toned dials. Must be my glasses. Because this Oxblood Stella dial Day-Date 36, reference 18038 from 1987, was really a bit of me. Stella dials earned their nickname due to the supplier that made these brightly colored lacquer dials, Stella SA, and this era of Rolex dials would go on to inspire the current generation of highly sought-after Rolex Oyster Perpetual watches with eye-catching turquoise, coral red, and candy pink dials, among others. During the pandemic, the Tiffany blue adjacent turquoise dial had a sky-high secondary market premium. It got to a point where we even reported how someone claimed they were offered a Rolex Daytona on even trade for their brightly colored entry-level Rolex OP. But the original Stella dial Rolex watches are even more sought after, and this Oxblood dial is made even more special with Arabic language day and date discs, giving it even more distinction. Ending out our Day-Date selection is this Day-Date 36 reference 18038 from 1988 with a black dial set with baguette diamonds for the hour indices. It's probably one of the tamest looking Day-Date watches in this video, but what stood out to me was the less common gold plaques on the dial for the Rolex and Day-Date dial text rather than just simply being printed on the dial. So if you caught that quirk on some of the more blingy models shown earlier, but would prefer it with a little less bling, then this would be the one to check out.
So there you have it. That is the certified pre-owned inventory that we just took a look at. Again, these are 8 or so watches out of hundreds that you could discover here. But what we want to know is, out of the 8 that we've shown you, which would be your pick? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. As always, I'll see you on the next one.